Here we go, guys. Mr. Pellier, take number 4. Merry Christmas. Alright, here we go. This is my updated video on my witch build. Not my witch build, I don't even know what we're calling this. Alright, this is a combination chaos destroying hex blast freezing explosions build. Alright. You guys probably have seen the Witch Hex Blast, but now we're looking at Chrono Hex Blast. The reason we're doing this is because we're doing enemies in presence are slowed by 20% is very crucial, and then cast speed and even more cast speed, and then whenever we're in trouble, we can just go Temporal Rift, and then really in trouble, we go Time Freeze. Alright? Now, for building skills, you want chaos damage, cast speed's good, spell damage here, the zone of control area of effect or curses, because this all works because when they walk into our curse, we'll be able to proc our Hex Blast, which you'll see soon. More chaos damage, hindered enemies, because this will proc together. Curses are hindered, and they'll get 30% more damage taken against hindered enemies. More spaghettification and damage. More damage. Thin ice, because we will be freezing the enemies a lot. You'll see why and how. Master of Hexes for increases effect of our curses. Eventually we'll get Whispers of Doom for an extra curse. Then we get spell damage for AoE spell damage, and then AoE area for spell area. We have chaos damage here, all over here, even more spell area for our curses and everything to proc and go in and ricochet off each other with our hex blasts. Not ricochet off each other, but proc off each other. You'll see how one explosion hits an enemy, the other enemy's explosion will go to the same guy. You'll see. So then that will make you freeze them instantly, basically. Now, we're going to the wand damage numbers. Here we go. Damage, spell damage, chaos damage, fire damage, something with damage, max mana. Chaos spell levels is really good, and then mana per enemy killed. I prefer that one because this thing eats mana and it eats your life up. Going on from that, mask, I did mine with rarity items. Right now, I am waiting for the armored cap, which will give me 100% spirit, which will be able for me to be able to get Archmage, which will give you a huge damage buff. And then tying in with that spirit power, we have the focus, which when I get a new one, will give me 12% power per 100 spirit, or per 10 spirit. So that'll be another 120% extra spell power from that alone when I get that head piece. And then moving on to the amulet, the spirit, increase rarity, cast speed, mana regeneration, intellect would be good. Some other things, anything that's good for like mana regeneration or casting, and maybe some spell damage. I know you can get on there. Moving on from there, we have more mana, life, rarity, cast speed. This one's a really good drop, I think. And then life and mana, because again, we're using a lot of mana, we're using a lot of life for this build. I don't have any resistances on right now. We're pretty squishy, but we just one-shot everything, so it doesn't really matter. I'm trying to figure out how to make us really tanky, and which is why I got the Altar Robe here, which will give us spell damage leached back to us. So this life will get leached back to us, as well as our shield coming back to us because excess life recovery from leech is applied to the energy shield. So that's how we get our energy shield back quickly. And then we have gain 30% damage as extra chaos damage. This is just for straight up damage. This one I can swap out with this for more damage. It's just that I want the slow magnitude on it. That's important because you're going to be slowing the enemies with our passives or our auras, and then you can basically dodge all the attacks for free. Movement speed for moving speedy. Obviously, we want that to map clear faster. That's the whole base, and then what we swap to, because this is a swap build, this is mostly our damage. This is our mobbing. So we have a bow here. What is important here is the gain the life and mana, which we're tying in together with the other ones. But other than that, down the road, I'll be making a crit damage build with Hex Blast. That's this unique. That will be insta-freeze, and you'll see why it insta-freezes. And then, but with the crit damage modifier, so we can just like one-shot everything we basically already do. Then we have the quiver, which is, this is where it all ties together. Chaos damage from hits contributes to freeze buildup. So now we're freezing on enemies whenever we hit them with Hex Blast, which is basically one hit. And whenever Hex Blast hits an enemy, it hits another enemy from that first attack. That enemy that got hit from the second attack will proc Hex Blast again, and then they'll basically just hit each other and then freeze each other. So then, unscalable valuable, so don't do anything with freeze buildup or electrocute buildup. I was testing that out. And then this is where you can use Cast on Freeze. So Cast on Freeze works on this one extremely well. Comet, Frostwell, Impetus, Energy Retention. This is just to get your energy back faster. Blasphemy uses Temporal Chains. Eventually you'll be able to use Despair, which will give them less Chaos Resistance, so you'll be doing even more damage. And then this is just AoE, and then effect of your curses, so then they can do more slows or more damage when you get Despair on it. You can switch it to Despair if you want, but I think the Temporal Chains is way better, and you'll see why in a bit. The only other thing that matters really is Dark Effigy for stacking the Wither buffs. The Withered for the enemies and the bosses, you want that max stacks, because that gives you a extra 50% damage, I believe, when you get Withered on them for max stack, so that's really important. And then Fonts of Mana for regenerating your mana when you're sitting on them, because you'll be freezing them basically instantly. And then you have 5% chaos damage, that goes up to 10 times, so it's 50% there. And then with your passive tree right over here, you'll get another, 10, 20, about another 40% increase from there. So that'll probably go up from 50%, 40%, roughly 20-ish percent, so now about 70% damage, or 20% increase in damage there. And then Dark Effigy, I was going to do like a crit build with this, but this is down the road. That'll be a crit build. Hex Blast, again, you can swap out with the gloves, and then swap out this one, so you do more area damage, which is Hex Blast, but you do less AoE. So whenever I'm bossing, I'll switch the Arcane Surge for the AoE damage, and then whenever I'm mobbing, I'll put on Arcane Surge so I can just run through everything in the attack quicker. And then also because I want the more AoE on it. Now that's done, I'm going to show you guys how this build works. It's really easy. You just walk up to an enemy and you click. It's simple as that. It's just a click build, alright? You just run around and you click on enemies. So ready? Boom, traverse. I know I'm still on maps 3. I've been grinding a lot of this game, but I've been not grinding the correct things. So now, I've been trying to make my builds and everything work and researching. So they get in my area, one click throws. You see they hit each other and then they proc the snow enough. If you want damage, we can use this one. So like for this one, we would do my chaos to freeze them, and then where'd you go? I use the bow usually because it just basically freezes them on one hit. And your cast on freeze is easier to do. Otherwise, you have to hit contagion, and then you have to right click, and then you have to do it for each enemy. But now this way, you don't have to do contagion at all. You just left click. And just see, I do take a little, sometimes too much damage. So if you're thinking you're taking too much damage, or you don't have a lot of life on build back yet, or the life regeneration, because there's a life regeneration passive that gets you 1% health back every second. If you aren't using those, or you don't have enough spirit for it, then you can just take off the 10% health loss on the chaos damage and switch it out for whatever you want. Yeah. See, they hit each other, and then yeah, they freeze each other, and just dead. Since we're doing so much damage all the time, our shields coming back all the way, and we crashed. So, well, I think that's where we're going to cut the video right there, boys. The build is good, crashes your game, so that means it's a good build, right? Right. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed. Drop a like down below. Peace out. Have a good one. Merry Christmas.